This is Tashi. He's a monk and he's happy. This is me. I'm a photographer and I'm grumpy. Tashi wants to learn more about photography. I want to learn more about happiness. So I came to Nepal to film Tashi and make myself a documentary.
I've been in Nepal for the last month working on a documentary about a monk who loves photography. I've been doing this with a very, very small team. I have more cameras than crew. The final result will be many, many months away, and I'm still not sure if maybe I'll need to come back and have to shoot some more. I've had a few setbacks getting to this point, and the journey I am on right now is definitely not the one I started 6 months ago, but I am still on the journey, and that's what matters. The basic premise of the documentary is building a bridge between my world as a photographer and mentor to connect with the world of a monk in Mustang. His name is Tashi, and he's not only talented, but he's a very happy person. He definitely prefers to be behind the camera than in front, but he's turned up every single day, ready and willing to make something beautiful. And that's the first lesson here, just turning up. Seems really obvious, and you would be amazed how many people never get to the starting blocks. The flip side to just turning up is also being prepared for things to take a different path to what you might have expected. I think we hear this advice a lot, but few of us really take it in, and it's different when you've lived it. Genuinely being willing to turn up and give things a go, even if you have no idea if the original goal is where you're going to end up. This lesson connects with Tashi's life as a monk really, really nicely. He talks about detachment and the idea of letting go, that you're not holding on to your desires, but you simply accept that things aren't always going to go your way. The idea of accepting that no matter how hard you try, you may not succeed. That doesn't mean you don't give your best to succeed, but it does mean you look at multiple outcomes instead of staying focused on just one. My one big goal for this journey was to help Tashi put together an exhibition. This is his very first, and it's a big deal for him. The exhibition also became an important vehicle for the documentary. It gave me something to work towards in the story development, a satisfying finale. Importantly, it also personally gave me something to keep focused on when everything else felt like it was failing. And on this project, we have had a massive amount of failure. It's been much more than I signed up for. The flip side is that I've learned a lot about myself, about my abilities, and about why I struggle to just accept the good fortune in my life and feel a little happiness in the moment. And that's the main narrative of this documentary, happiness. And that's more my journey, of course. Tashi is already happy. I am the grumpy one. I've been incredibly humbled by some of the people who have helped me with this project, people who have really had my back. Some of them are back home in Australia, but I feel like they're with me here in Nepal. Let's meet the local team. This is Sering. She is awesome. Sering is my favourite guide in Nepal, and now she's learning to be a line producer. She's been sensational. Hari is our van driver, and he managed to get our Toyota along tracks in Mustang that some four-wheel drives would genuinely struggle with. Slowly, slowly is his motto. Don't be in a rush. This is Mohan. He has helped me organise tours in Nepal for 15 years. His company is called Makalu Adventures. He was really generous in supporting my team this month. Thank you so much, Mohan. These are the people who made my life better in Nepal over the last few weeks. I need to include some brands in my team as well. Lumix in Australia have been awesome to support this project. I've been filming everything with the S1R2 and taking advantage of so many features on that camera, including the 32-bit audio coming in through the XLR adapter. This camera is marvelous. It suits me and it suits this project. Sigma have also supported me over the years, and I'm shooting with a few of their very best lenses. The 28 to 105mm f2.8 has been stellar. It's done half the footage on this trip. We've also been helped by Peak Design. They're my favy camera bag. Not a hard choice there. Occo filters as well, they are just superb. Their magnetic NDs were core to this production. I've never used a cleaner ND filter. They leave no color shifts whatsoever. And of course the magnets, especially filming by myself and trying to take photos in between footage. Popping the filter on and off instantly is just a treat. Angelbird helped out big time with the CF Express cards, and it is so nice to download 250 gig of footage in less than 8 minutes. That works for me. A handful of my clients tipped in big time to help on this project as well. I can't name names for privacy reasons, but we got some very generous donations and we got them when we really needed it. And it makes such a difference when that happens, because it's not just about the fact that I've got bills to pay, but because I feel like someone really believes in what we're doing. Money is always a problem for this kind of project, but actually having people who believe in what you're doing is just as important. I've been away from home for 4 months now and away from my wife for half that time. And there are days when you feel pretty low, days when you're feeling very alone and you can't just sit down and talk to your support network because they're in a different time zone. And then out of the blue, someone drops a few $100s into the donation tin with a message saying, "Can't wait to see what you make." And that moment feels like a great big hug. It just makes a world of difference. It takes more than money to make a documentary, and that sort of support goes a long way. We already talked a little about detachment and the idea that you end up unhappy when you lock yourself into a set of desires. If you are absolutely locked into your production turning out a certain way, then I don't think shooting a doco in Nepal is going to work for you. Nothing happens the way you think it should in Nepal. Nothing. So you need a path forward when you can't get to where you wanted to go. And that's what we're talking about, having that flexibility to say, all right, let's do something different. Let's go in a different direction now. And these challenges apply back home as well. This is not unique to Nepal. This applies when I go out for a cup of coffee and I want my coffee a certain way, and then I don't get my coffee a certain way, and my entire day is ruined. My second big lesson on happiness from this journey is scale, small versus big. There was a special moment when Tashi posted a reel to his Instagram with a very special caption. The reel was gorgeous. It was expressing his joy of giving a bunch of novice monks some printed photos, but it was a caption that really hit home for me. He wrote, "I don't have big dreams like others. My small dream is simply to bring a smile to someone's face." Think about the scale that he's talking about here. He's saying it matters in the moment. It doesn't matter if I become a great big successful photographer and everyone knows my name. What matters is I did something nice and made some people happy today. And that's when it connected in my brain. That was the moment I understood Tashi and understood his journey and understood what it means to be happy. Happiness is not a big, huge destination. It's 1,000 little moments along the way. There's a saying that goes, happiness is not something you find, it's something you choose. I feel this only makes sense if you're already happy. Like, it sounds like something that a privileged white influencer would say, someone who doesn't actually have any financial struggles at all and is merely worried about how they're going to pay the mortgage on their fourth home. If you've lived any part of your life in a less fortunate position where you just don't have resources and you have to take whatever job that you have offered, and you just can't say, well, if I choose to be happy today, then all my problems will go away, because they don't. That's not what it's about. Choosing to be happy is not about your world will change. It's about you change and you respond better to the world you're living in. And sure, it helps to be happy when you have an amazing wife and some lovely sponsors who donate camera gear and the opportunity to explore your creative passion. And I realise that Tashi and I are actually very similar. We have both been very lucky. And I go into a little bit more detail in the documentary about what kind of lucky that Tashi has. I chose to be here in Nepal. I chose to put my time and money into this. I chose to ignore my wife for months while she actually earned some money for both of us. And I chose to do the best I can to tell the story of Tashi, our talented monk. I have a lot of work ahead of me to bring this documentary into shape. I have a lot of hurdles to clear before anyone gets to see even a half-finished result. And I don't know exactly where this journey will head next, but that's the point. All I can do is turn up and do my best and be grateful to all the wonderful people who also turned up to help me. When I first recorded this video, I was still juggling a dozen things for this project. The exhibition was about to launch and we only had a few remaining days to record our interviews with Tashi. It was a very intense time. One thing I overlooked at the time was to say a few words about the way Tashi has brought me together with so many wonderful people. I did have a few of my own great people before I began this project, but Tashi pulled in even more. The past few weeks has been an almost daily occurrence of meeting someone new and wonderful. I've met inspiring people who do really inspiring work here in Nepal, people who are generous and caring, making a difference to the lives of other people. I've met people who are running foundations, building schools, and even some making their own documentaries. Every day has been more auspicious than the last. I mentioned earlier that we had some rough patches on this production, which is true. There were several turning points along the way, any one of which could have sunk everything. Responding to those moments was critical to keeping the project moving forward, just not always in the direction I had originally planned. But as it turns out, usually it takes me somewhere even better. I look back on those moments now and realise those were gifts. I was being released from a negative path and watched the door open to something far more positive and rewarding. I sit here today and I genuinely struggle to find words that adequately express how lucky I am. I have seen so much joy from my time with Tashi and meeting other people who know him, and even more people who know the people who know him. We're all on different journeys, but we're also all connected, and our lives are much the richer for it. Thank you for watching through to the end. I hope you can find a little happiness in your world today, and good luck with your journey too.